All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm making a couple quick videos today, and I'll go back into the normal in-depth stuff during the week. But I want to quickly cover Bitcoin and then the crypto stocks. So I'll look at Marathon and Riot. I'll look at WULF and HUT, and then there was a grayscale request. I don't remember the tickers, but I'll go in the Discord and figure that out. All right, but. Yeah, it's looking a little worrisome on Bitcoin. And for me, it's looking way more worrisome on the weekly, actually. All right. So this system just started covering Bitcoin. So this one doesn't have a 50 moving average. I'm using something else to see where the 50 is at. And the 50 moving average is roughly down here. All right. So I'll talk about that shortly. But this weekly has me worried. All right. Like I can't stress that enough. All right, when we look at the players themselves, right? So Marathon and Riot, Marathon has now found itself under all the moving averages, and it's crazy that that happened after it broke and confirmed that 2250 line right there. Riot, I was saying that Riot looked worse than Marathon for a good while. It very quickly caught up to it. I think that's the easiest way of saying it. And then obviously has gone down, down, down since, right? WULF, I feel, has been a very, very valuable stock to learn about the 8 and the 20 moving average, right? This thing literally just bounces on the 8 like a champion, loses it, but then the 20 brings us right back up. We've now obviously come to a place where we've lost the 8, we've lost the 20, and we're now dancing with the loss of the 50 moving average, right? But WULF, beautiful, beautiful over the two lines, horrible, horrible under the lines, and that's something I say about every single stock, right? When we look at HUT, the exact same story, right? Bouncing, 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 boom, bouncing, bouncing. Oh no, right? So that's kind of that. And then, like I said, I want to find those grayscale stocks. I don't really know that very well, but again, it was in the Discord, and I like to include that here. All right, so I'll talk about all that and more shortly. But before we do go any further, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's only one. I actually thought I had another one at around 69,000. I remember talking about that 69 line on the last video. But yeah, there's horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it, all right? So before I actually start looking into the stocks themselves, right, I'm going to cover the 4 main crypto ones that I do, and then I want to look at some grayscale tickers that I was requested. You got to look at Bitcoin itself, right? Like, this is essentially the index for the Bitcoin crypto kind of players, right? The way Bitcoin moves should be the way that everything else moves, right? We saw a couple anomalies. I think WULF is the easiest one to think about, but yeah, if Nasdaq does well, so will tech. If Bitcoin does well, so should the crypto stocks, right? And really, Bitcoin's been doing all right. Let me at least stop there and take a moment, because I for sure thought we were going to lose this line. I was wrong right here in the early July. There were people that disagreed. Zeus God was actually the loudest one that disagreed with me. And you can see what happened right there, right? So I always stress, I'm not here pretending to know it all. Never hesitate if you disagree, all right? The problem was we were never able to get over that all-time high number, right? And that's kind of what you want that 200 moving average bounce to do when we're there. So let me take a step back. Pushing all-time highs, pushing all-time highs, pushing all-time highs. We're starting to lose some moving averages. You use the next one down to take you back to all-time high, take you back to all-time high. You start to lose moving averages. You now are unable to get as high as you were on this bounce, right? This 100 moving average took me right back to the top. Actually, it took me right back to twice, right? I don't like that we couldn't get as high on this one. That's a little worrisome. Obviously, it's, a little bit of it is hindsight, you can argue, but I remember on one of my last videos, I was talking about the 69,000 line. I was basically talking about this little horizontal moment right here. And I was saying if we can get over this horizontal moment, it would give us the energy to get over that all-time high. And man, we got close, but we couldn't confirm. That's actually why I thought I had that 69 line written right there, right? So where's Bitcoin looking? To me, obviously this doesn't look good, right? Like it does look like we're gonna head down to the 200 one more time. What has me worried is this weekly chart. All right, so I gotta grab my phone right now. So the system I'm using here literally just started covering Bitcoin not that long ago. All right, so that's why there's not as many moving averages. But Bitcoin's been around for a very long time. There clearly is a 50, 100, and a 200 moving average on the weekly as well, right? So I'm using another system, and I'm gonna draw a line real quick. So the 50 moving average on the weekly is just over 50,000. It's basically here at 50,800, 50,500 something. It's right there. We'll call it that. This right here is the 50 moving average on the Bitcoin chart, all right? And as I look at the man, I really wish, oh, I don't have the login info. I just got a new laptop and I don't have dang, no. I'm going to redo my Bitcoin video early next week. Listen, I'm looking at my phone as I do this, okay? We've had moments, all right? We had it in the middle of 2021. It looks like it happens roughly in June of 2021. And then again, it happens in December of 2021. There have been two moments on the Bitcoin weekly where we lose the 8 and the 20 and then quickly, and I mean quickly, fall to the 50. I will show it on the next video. It's not on this one right here, all right? I'm really worried that we're testing a loss of the 8 and the 20 and we might repeat and we might fall as low as 50, all right? This is an important line right here. I'm curious if that's where the 200 is on the daily. It's actually a little bit lower. I think I want to draw that line. So as I come to Bitcoin, I think the two lines that I'm looking at are, and they're both lower, right? It's basically 58,700 and then this 56,800. I think these are our two lines down. Look, it wasn't that long ago that the RSI was as low as 10. All right, so the fact that we're at 40, man, this thing can still come down. I think the one thing that I find interesting is Bitcoin isn't doing well and the major indices in the stock exchange aren't doing well. I've always believed that like when the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow Jones do bad, people move their money here, and then when this is bad, people move their money back, right? It's a little interesting to see that that's kind of not the case. Everything is actually kind of working its way down right now, right? But yeah, Bitcoin does not look good, and again, to me it's a little bit on this weekly chart that's echoing that. All right, so I'll show a better view on next week's video, but just with that in mind, let's move into Marathon and Riot, right? Marathon and Riot are not looking good, and I started the beginning of the video with it. It's crazy to me that happened. We have a good break of a resistance, a good break overall. And look, even these two right here, that was a big break of all the moving averages and 4 on a single day. That was a nice confirmation. And then that confirmed the line. It is crazy to me that 1, 2, 3 ends up turning into this. And I think I remember making a joke that I could make like a 40-minute video on these candles right here on the last video. Actually, now that I'm saying this, I remember it. But man, it still blows my mind that these 3 candles turn into a $17 stock. Like technical analysis isn't a crystal ball, right? It's not here to say this is for sure going to happen. It's here to hopefully give us like a 52% advantage, right? Instead of a 50-50. And believe me, a small advantage is what makes a professional gambler a millionaire, right? Like if Vegas basically has like a 54% chance against us, right? If we can switch those odds around, oh man, we might be Steve Wynn one day, right? So, crazy, crazy, crazy that happened, all right? Nonetheless, some of it might be Bitcoin, arguably, right? Bitcoin kind of had that same pop, right? It had that same pop and then it's not as hard down, but yeah, it's not going up as well as it was, right? So Bitcoin goes horizontal, Marathon ends up actually going down as it goes horizontal, right? So little rough to see Marathon doing worse than Bitcoin. Man, at this point, I got to draw new lines down here. Goodness, I'll put you right there. Yeah. After that, oh man, we're coming here. This is a little scary because look at this channel. Green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, green, green. Whole mess of nothing. If we lose 1570, that's really, really scary. I think it's a real good shot at coming to 1570. I mean, in the next couple days, we cannot lose that line because, yeah, that will be a very fast fall down to 12 right there. All right. That's looking a little scary right there. Nope, not Rito, Riot. Let's look at Riot. Riot, I mean, same ugliness. I have the lines down, right? So, um, I would probably even ignore that 750 line, but 750 and 690, those are basically the 1-2, right? Like, I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna delete this one. I am. I think 650s or sorry 690 is the line right there. I think that's what we're looking at. Riot's looking rough, and really, Riot and Marathon have that same MACD RSI. Like that's scary right there. Let's take a look at WULF. WULF was doing very well. Look, good things happen over moving averages, bad things happen under moving averages, right? You lose the 8, you lose the 20, you lose the 50. It kind of seems like this thing's on the way to the 100 moving average sitting at 320. If we lose that, it looks like it might even come as low as the 200 moving average, which will probably catch up to that 260 line, right? So yeah, I think these are actually some pretty good lines on WULF. Again, when you're over the 8 and the 20, good things happen. Once you start to lose those lines, it gets scary. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Hut, the exact same chart. The exact same chart as WULF, right? So good things happen over all 5. You break all 5, you fly. You ride the 8 and the 20, good things happen. Oh man, we're again seemingly coming down to this 100 and 200. Those are a lot more clustered, right? So I think 1055 makes a lot of sense for a hut. Real quick, let me look at, oops, gray scale. I don't know if it's gray was AY or EY. Gray. Let's just type in gray. Oh man, you would think I would. My gosh, where are these grayscale things? Come on. Nope. Gray. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I know what I'm looking for. Maybe viewer request. Oh, I gotta do the psychedelics. That'll be next. Why can't I find the grayscale stuff? Oh, I tried. You can see I'm trying. I will. Gray. This did nothing, right? Yeah. Old. Nope. Solano. Dude, I don't know the name of these. I'm sorry. I'll figure it out on the next one. My apologies. I wasted like 2 minutes looking for that. That's it on this one. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, I appreciate you so, so much.